so deep in your mind. See me in your thoughts, I rewind, just to give you good memories. Knowledge in the words that I say, type to make your soul obey, type to make them say obey. Diamonds in his face like Jay, juicy with the way that I sway.
What's up, Marley gang? It's your girl Marley Badu coming at you with another video, and today's video is about books that has helped me better myself. One of the books I'm going to be reviewing today is The 4 Agreements. You can see this book is bomb.com. This book has helped me along in my military career. It helped me with enlightenment. It helped me with learning stuff about myself. This book is by Miguel Ruiz. I said that wrong. If I did, apologies. But this is an awesome book. Now, I'm not going to give you all the details in the book because I do want you to purchase it and read it yourself because it is worth the money. I got this on Amazon for like $12. Probably less. Probably like $7, $8 really. On Amazon. Very good spend of money. So, I'm going to get right into it. The 4 Agreements, basically, it's about the agreements you made with yourself as a child. Stuff you made with yourself that you learned to believe along the way. It's basically going over those agreements and breaking it in your mind, strengthening your mind, making new agreements with yourself, facing a new reality after you do these things, creating your own reality the way you want it to be. In the book, Don Miguel talks about pretty much how those agreements have shaped what you believe. And everything that you believe pretty much is a lie. Like everything that you've learned to believe about yourself, about your weight, about your talents, about your skill set, about your mentality, about how you love, about how you communicate, everything is a lie because those agreements were made off of stuff people told you and embedded in you since you was a child. So for example, when you were a kid and you're singing around the house and your mom like, she having a frustrated day, she frustrated, she tired, and you singing around the house, you doing what you want to do, and your mom has a banging headache, and this example is in the book. Your mom has a banging headache, she going through stuff at work, and you just singing. You an innocent child. You 10 years old, you la-di-da-di-da, singing, happy, you know, you gotta go start school, you doing a thing. But your mom, she has this headache, she's stressed out, she not trying to deal with nothing right now, her boss is on her behind, and she yells at you. And when she yells at you, she says, can you shut up? Can you shut up that singing? Don't nobody want to hear your voice. Like, it's making my headache worse. Right then and there, the child agrees with that. The child thinks that their voice is bad. The child thinks that they can't sing, that it's not beautiful, that they don't have a talent of singing. Something they loved and were so innocent to. Just in that moment when the mother said that, she spoke life into that child. And now that child believes that. So the child grows up as a teenager and they're in high school and chorus and stuff, and they don't want to audition for the roles that they dreamed of having as a kid. They don't want to volunteer to do solos. They don't want to do anything singing groups, so they just play themselves off very mediocre because they've already agreed in their mind from a child that they cannot sing, that their voice was that bad. That one experience embedded in them that their voice was not beautiful. Even though the mom didn't mean it that way, that's what came out, and now the child is thinking, you know, like, my voice is horrible. So all through high school, all through middle school, all through college, this child will never open their voice and sing because they think something's wrong with their voice. They've agreed with that. That is the agreement they made. And that is just a small example of agreements that we make with ourselves based off what other people told us we were, you know? So this book really helped me realize the agreements that I had going on with myself. I agreed that, you know, I didn't like my body. At first I was too skinny, then I was too big, then I was too thick, you know, then I had cellulite, then I wasn't eating enough. I didn't agree with my skin, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I need makeup, I need foundation, I need this, I need that, you know, just to give myself a little pop so I won't have no dark circles, so I won't do this and I won't do that. My eyebrows wasn't growing, so let me draw this in, because this is what perfect looks like. Because as a child, I was shown what perfection is through the TV. I've heard it through music. I remember I used to listen to a song that by Webby, that girl give me that, girl give me that, the girl give me that. That song. I used to listen to it. And in the song, he say, she 5'7", 135 pounds, bad little bra, whatever. That part. I used to be like, man, I need to be 5'7". So when I was 5'7", I'm like, okay, I gotta be 135 pounds, because This is what they're looking for. This is perfection. And when I wasn't that, I felt like a failure. I beat myself up. I put myself in my own mind, and I attacked myself until it made me insecure. And that insecureness rubbed off on other people. So when I seen people who was in 5'7" and 135, I thought you overweight, or you too skinny, just like me. Like, when people are perfectly fine, all God asks you to do is exist and live in love, and love will come back to you. But we're so busy with those childhood agreements that we made about ourselves. We can't sing, we can't dance, we ain't gonna grow up to be none. We're gonna be like our fathers. Our parents are crack addicts or alcoholics, so we are gonna take the same road. We see ourselves when we're a teenager, start doing stuff, doing drugs, start acting out in ways that our parents did, and because we believe it, we bring those scenarios to us. We bring those things to us. If somebody tell you stupid, you're not smart, just because they seen one piece of homework you did, and they like, oh no, she kind of slow. Once you agree, you give that life, you give it power, and that is now law for you. That is now, you play the victim and you agree with that law. So every time you try to break out of that, or you're put in a situation where you have to be a little smart, you don't want to, because you've agreed already that you were dumb, that you were stupid, because everything everybody told you as a child, you weren't stupid, you weren't dumb, you just didn't learn it yet. You know what I'm saying? Or it's something with that person and their agreements that they agree with as a child that they need to learn how to let go. It has nothing to do with you. And what this book teaches me is that don't take anything personal. Don't take what people say to you personal. Don't take how people treat you personal. And that is a big one, because it's really hard not to take stuff personal. It's hard to be at work and people treating you like crap, and you don't take that personal because you feel like, I came here to do my job. I'm doing a good job. And y'all just, treat me like it don't matter. Y'all just talking down on me. It's not you. It is them. It is them disagreeing with themselves and reflecting it on you. It has nothing to do with you. You do not take anything personal. Long as you do your best, you're doing everything right. You do your best and you do it with love, because you want love to come back. Once you love with everything, you will be in everyone, and your encounters and your reflections of people will change. Everything that you see and everything that you do will be a reflection of love. So if you have a mom like me and my mom, we weren't on good terms. We weren't very toxic. It's toxic on both sides of my family. Like my dad's side of the family, very dysfunctional, addicts. My mom, same thing, same problem. I don't really know her side of the family like that because of what she's agreed to as a child and distanced herself. And we just didn't know. It wasn't no communication. It wasn't no nighttime prayers. It wasn't no sitting at the table and eating like a family. It wasn't no, checking your report cards, anything like. It wasn't no care, no concern. And as a child, I agreed that I wasn't important. I agreed that I wasn't enough. I agreed that nobody pays attention to me. So when I grew up, what did I do? I did things to try to make me have the attention. I had to be the perfectionist. I had to be better at everybody at everything. I had to know more than everybody else. Every time somebody would say a fact, I have to top them with an additional fact. I had to just be important because I felt like I wasn't important. And even when I was doing that perfectionist stuff, I still didn't feel important because I've already agreed in my mind that I wasn't. I already agreed in my mind that I'm not. I already agreed in my mind that my insecurities are true. So what this book teaches you is to break those insecurities, make new agreements, and be free. Get your power back. Make new agreements. Tell yourself every day, my body look good. I'm fine. I'm attractive. I got sex appeal. I am beautiful. I can sing. I can do whatever I want to do because this is my life and I am creating it. And as long as I operate in love, that's all that matters. I'm doing everything else right. How people react to me or what people say to me or what they do, that is just a reflection of what they agree with within themselves. If they hurt you, it's because they're hurting inside. They're still hurting themselves when they hurt you. You don't have to agree with what anything anybody says about you. You don't have to be whatever anybody tells you you are. I don't care if you 30s, in your 40s, and you feel like, I done already went down the path of my dad. You can make new agreements. You can break that generational curse. You can become something new. You just got to get your power back. No, it won't be easy. No, it will not be easy. It'll probably be the hardest trail of your life, journey of your life. For me, I feel like I'm dying every day. But now that I'm getting the hang of it, it's so beautiful. I don't say stuff negative towards myself no more. I don't speak to others and say stuff negative to them because I don't want that on me. You know how black magic and stuff like that works? It's because you believe you deserve it. You have to speak life. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You have to trust that God is who he says he is, and he made your life, and he speaks life into you. He breathed breath into you. He knew your end and your beginning when you were in your mother's womb. Not another human on this earth can tell you where you're going to go. You agree, and that's why you end up where they say you're going to end up at. So you got to start breaking agreements in your mind, and that's what this book is, a powerful book that tells you how to do that, and the different 4 agreements that you need to make with yourself. Don't take anything personal. Be impeccable with your word. Everything that you say should be powerful. Even if you don't believe it, start saying it so it can become true. It can become your reality. Talk and communicate with love. If you don't feel like I'm not feeling it today, because it's not going to happen overnight. So if you don't feel like I'm feeling it today, today's not the day, then just don't say nothing at all. Give yourself your power back. Because every time you fall weak and you fall into that anger and you fall into their misunderstanding and their confusion of life, you lose some of your power. You lose some of your strength. You lose some of your momentum to keep going. Every time you give somebody else power, like I grew up Christian, and it reminds me, they mentioned in here the story of Jesus. Like, he was trying to tell people about God coming, the return of Christ. He was about to tell them about the kingdom of heaven. He was trying to tell them that if they had faith, they could move mountains, everything. But they weren't ready for Jesus. They weren't ready for something like that. They did not understand, like, why is this man walking around in so much peace and so much love, and he's spitting and taking away the blindness from people? Why is that happening? And we can't do it. He got to be a sorcerer. He got to, because that's the only thing that they believe, is that you can have power through black magic, through evilness. That's crazy. We have taken away the concept that we can do stuff on our own, that we are reflections of God. He is embedded in us. We have took that power away and gave power to man, and gave power to witchcraft and sorcery, because we rather believe that it got to be son of the devil, because we can't see it in ourselves, because we've already agreed as a child there's no way we could be that powerful. We've already agreed that that's impossible. We've already agreed that faith only works at a certain level and stops. No, you keep practicing faith. You keep practicing believing before seeing, and you get powerful and more powerful. You get more divine. That's why the devil had to directly come and mess with Jesus, because man couldn't do it, because he knew who he was. What he say in the temple? I am that I am. Period. I knocked the temple down in 3 days and built it back up. And what happened? Knocked down in 3 days, came back up. Everything that he spoke was life, because he believed it was life. So this book is so powerful on how to teach you how to break those agreements. I suggest everybody go pick up them books. Go read these books, the self-help books, if you're on your journey and you feel lost. Sometimes reading, you'll learn stuff about yourself, and it kind of check you, because you don't want to hear it from nobody else. You don't want to hear it from somebody on the street telling you about yourself, because pride. We've already agreed to have pride. We've already agreed that can't nobody tell us nothing. So read a book and let it tell you. Let it inform you, because it's not going to yell at you. It's not going to tell you with judgment. This is just to tell you with understanding and teach you. And you have to accept this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these books are really, really good. And this is just one that I'm very into, and I'm probably going to read a couple more times. And it even comes with prayers on the back to help you along the way. Like, prayers to help you, you know what I'm saying, get an understanding of who the Creator is and what he put in you, what power he put in you. And to take you away from people's thoughts and people's manifestation for you. I'm just going to read you a little prayer before I close out. This is the prayer for freedom. It's in the back of the book. There you go. It's in the back of the book. And this prayer, when I read it, it had brought me to tears, because I felt free. I really felt free, because I believed it. And I'm just going to read a little bit for you. It says, "Today, Creator of the universe, we ask that you come to us and share with us a strong communion of love. We know that your real name is love. That to have a communion with you means to share the same vibration, the same frequency that you are, because you are the only thing that exists in this universe. Today, help us to be like you are, to love life, to be love. Help us to love the way you love, with no conditions, with no expectations, no obligations, and without any judgment. Help us to love and accept ourselves without any judgment, because when we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything you create unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who live around us. all of our relatives and people whom we try so hard to love. Because when we reject them, we reject ourselves. And we reject ourselves, we reject you. Help us to love others just the way they are with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are without judgment. Because if we judge them, we find them guilty. We blame them, and we have the need to punish them. Today, clean our hearts of any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgment so that we can live in complete peace and complete love. Today is a very special day. Today we open our hearts to love again so that we can tell each other, I love you, without any fear, and really mean it. Today we offer ourselves to you. Come to us. Use our voices, use our eyes, use our hands, and use our hearts to share ourselves in a communion of love with everyone. Today, Creator, help us to be just like you are. Thank you for everything that we receive this day, especially for the freedom to be who we really are. Amen. That right there, that prayer was so powerful to me because I want to communicate in love. I want to communicate without judgment. I want to say I love somebody and have no fear because what people told me in the past, what music has taught me that love was damage and pain and all, it doesn't have to be that. I don't have to agree to that. I can agree that my love is going to be prosperous. It's going to be kind. It's going to be giving. It's going to be overflowing. It's going to have abundance. That's the love that I want, so that's the love that I'm going to demand, and that's what's going to come to me. So I love this book because it teaches you just to put out what you want. Do unto others as you want done unto you. But it also gives you amazing agreements to live by and stuff you never knew about, that you never understood. Be impeccable with your word. Take nothing personal. Do your best at everything. It teaches you that. You know what I'm saying? And never to assume. When we assume, we cause our own trials and tribulations in our mind before we actually figure out the facts. So this book helped me so much along the way. I want to recommend this book to everybody who's on a spiritual journey to find themselves. Once again, it's called The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. So go check this book out. Thank you, Marley Gang, for paying attention and watching this video with me. Love you all. Peace and blessings. Love and light.